Hello, wild ones. Welcome back to the Wild and Untamed Way with me, Emma Louise Dyson. And today we are diving into the controversial world of baneful magic, specifically the differences between curses, hexes, and jinxes. These terms are often thrown around in the witchcraft community, but they each carry very different meanings and intentions. And in this video, we're going to break down what each one is, how they're used, and the key differences between them. While baneful magic might not be for everybody, I think it's really important to understand these aspects of witchcraft, whether we choose to work with them or not. Knowledge is power after all. So let's get started on an introduction to baneful magic. Start with the basics. What is baneful magic? Baneful magic is a type of magic intended to cause harm, misfortune, or disruption to someone's life. It's often seen as dark or negative magic because its purpose is to bring about undesirable outcomes. But it's important to remember that magic itself is neutral. It's the intention behind it that gives it its meaning. Now, think about this. Have you ever taken a painkiller, right? Painkiller, it's designed to remove something unwanted like pain or discomfort. Baneful magic can sometimes be seen in a similar light. It's not necessarily about causing harm for harm's sake. It's often used to stop or to remove a negative influence from your life. Think about using pest control in the garden, something I'm not really aligned with, but you're not attacking nature, are you? Rather, you're keeping harmful pests away from your plants so that they can continue to thrive and produce crops. Similarly, baneful magic can remove harmful energies or influences from your life to make the space more positive for growth. Even something as simple as installing security measures in your home, locks, alarms, or fences. It isn't about hurting anybody, is it? But it's about protecting yourself. And baneful magic can function in the same way, creating energetic barriers against those who wish to harm you. All of that said, I am absolutely not encouraging anyone to use baneful magic. It is a very personal decision and it carries really serious ethical and spiritual considerations. But it's important to understand what it is, right? Especially if you're working within witchcraft or spiritual practices where this knowledge can be really helpful. So let's look at them. Curses, hexes, and jinxes. What are they? Let's start with curses. So a curse is one of the most intense forms of baneful magic. It's typically designed to bring long-term, continuous harm or misfortune to someone or something. The key thing about a curse is the depth of intent behind it. Curses often require a lot of focused energy and they are meant to last for a significant period, sometimes indefinitely. Curses are usually aimed at causing really deep, lasting harm and often involve targeting specific areas of someone's life, like their health, their finances, or their relationships. Historically, curses have been used in various different cultures, often with the belief that they would persist over generations and generations, affecting not just the intended person, but even their descendants and their descendants to come. So because of the intensity and the potential for lasting consequences, curses are generally seen as the most serious and dangerous type of baneful magic. The intention behind a curse goes far beyond temporary misfortune. It's about deeply impacting someone's life in a harmful way. Next up, we've got hexes. A hex is often viewed as a form of baneful magic that is less intense than a curse, but still focused on causing harm and misfortune. While curses are designed to bring long-term, deep-rooted consequences, hexes tend to be more specific in their intent and they're often shorter in duration. Hexes are typically used for retribution or as a way to return negative energy that somebody has sent your way. They're often directed at a specific issue or a person with the goal of teaching them a lesson or creating discomfort in response to their actions. Hexes can be seen more of a targeted form of baneful magic, focusing on a particular problem or a behavior rather than attempting to affect someone's entire life. While curses might aim to cause ongoing suffering, a hex is usually more immediate and temporary in its consequences. It's often about justice or about rebalancing energies, but like any form of baneful magic, hexes require careful consideration as they still carry strong intent and consequences. And lastly, let's talk about jinxes. So a jinx is often considered the lightest form of baneful magic, if that's a thing. They're usually temporary and less intense than a curse or a hex. And jinxes are often associated with brief misfortune or bad luck and can sometimes even occur unintentionally. For example, you might hear people say that they've been jinxed, right? Or they've jinxed something just by speaking about it, creating bad luck by accident. In many cases, jinxes are tied to superstition, like when you say something out loud and you worry that you've tempted fate. While a jinx can cause some discomfort or some short-term bad luck, it's typically not meant to have lasting effects or to cause serious harm. It's more like a temporary bump in the road rather than a long-term obstacle. Unlike curses and hexes, which are deliberate and often carry heavier consequences, jinxes tend to have a lighter touch. Again, if there is such a thing. They're often used in more casual settings or even part of everyday phrases. But in magical practice, they can still serve as a way to disrupt someone's energy or cause minor inconvenience. So to recap, we've just explored the differences very briefly between curses, hexes, and jinxes. These types of baneful magic with varying levels of intensity and intention are something that you need to seriously consider. A curse is a long-term and deeply harmful baneful practice. A hex is more targeted and often tied to retribution, and a jinx is usually temporary and can even happen sometimes unintentionally. And while baneful magic can be a controversial and ethically complex area of witchcraft, it's really important to have an understanding of these concepts, whether you choose to practice them or you simply want to protect yourself from them. Remember, magic is all about intention, and with knowledge comes the power to make informed choices in your own practice. I'm not here to tell you whether you should or you shouldn't practice baneful magic. That is up to you. If you enjoyed this video though, and you found it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell as well, so you get notified on more videos on shamanic witchcraft, earth medicine, and living in harmony with the changing of the seasons and the wheel of the year. And if you would like to join the conversation and dive a little bit deeper into these topics, feel free to come over to my free Facebook group. We talk about all things magical and spiritual, and you will find the link in the description below. Finally, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is baneful magic something that you practice? Is it something that you are curious about? Is it a big no-no for you and your practice? And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Stay cool, won't you? Bye.